Yeah, yeah. So I'll answer the question, personally, and I'll say that it's hard to articulate because I think what I found, and it's not true of every subspace in what we do, but one thing that I really did enjoy in my career, and it's strange. There's sort of this moment where it happens where you've done it enough where you finally can hear your gut speak, right? And just sort of say, I smell a deal here. Like I kind of know, so uh, for me, that's actually the most important thing. And it's hard to articulate what that is, but it's more pattern recognition. I know that it's not a helpful answer. It's just to say that when you've done something long enough, you get to a place where you start to feel like there are things where you would fall on your sword for and kind of say, almost at any price, like I would do this because this person in this situation, it just kind of clicks. It clicks. So that's the non-helpful answer. I'd say that maybe the more helpful answer, and the way we do think about things in these first meetings is, and there's a Warburg specific, so it's not every firm will have a different mentality. But first of all, we're kind of a growth-oriented firm, so we're not, we need to be investing behind things that are on the right side of history and the right side of mega trends, and that's really important. And that also means like not being on the wrong side of something else. And so there's actually remarkable how many businesses are on that, and you can still make money in those categories. But for us, if you're really sort of trying to play for the right tail, it's really hard to, get excited about that if there's something sort of structurally kind of wrong with what you're doing, or not wrong, but structurally constrained, or structural headwind that you're not going to be able to get around. So the minute we start saying, well, these guys are kind of upsetting this side of the market, but maybe we can work around that. We sort of generally radar starts to go off and it's probably not going to work. That's one. So right side of a mega trend, and ideally one that we really have true conviction on. Then there's a whole bunch of micro characteristics, that are, again, sort of in the stuff that I do at least, generally, like, is it a business that's recurring in terms of the way that it generates its revenues? People talk a lot about the SaaS model, but there's a lot of other places you can get it. A lot harder to get excited about, a business where every year you've got to start from zero, right? And start finding new customers and building. Again, we don't have to invest in everything. So if you can, you might as well invest in something that has that characteristic. Is it, mission critical in terms of what it does, or is it nice to have? Again, we have the luxury of choosing. So, and everything's expensive. So maybe pick on those things. And there's a whole bunch of others I won't get to, but just sort of there's whole micro sort of things that you just look at in the business that sort of come together. The third thing I'd say is traction. Is there real signs here that this is working? And when you talk to customers and you talk to the people, they're solving something that people are really excited about. It kind of feels like there's good momentum and so on. Again, as a growth investor, we look for that. And then the last, perhaps the most important, is the people you're backing, right? Is it, do these people really know their space? Do I think they'll be able to kind of maneuver and get there? And as you do this more, is it somebody that I'd be proud to partner with, and somebody that I could actually see myself working with and enjoying that dynamic? The one thing that I didn't say, and I just kind of want to call it out a little bit, is that it doesn't need to be something that is in this like massive, change the world kind of TAM. We found over and over again that, things that are actually focused on smaller opportunities can be really good because the competitive set isn't as big. And they can be really good because you then own the category and you can find more and more stuff to do for that customer. Generally, every time we've said that a TAM is too small and we've invested, we found that it's actually bigger than we think, because there's just more and more you can do, especially with a good team within that, or start to move adjacent. And even if you can't, you end up with a great business with terrific kind of profitability characteristics and visibility.